What's most important to you when buying windows, siding, or doors? Is it energy savings, cost, quality, or warranty? Window World offers it all by searching Window World today.
I'm Ralph Mangum here on the WHKY News. Let's have a look now at our weekly review of our top crime stories we had for you during the week of August 19th through the 23rd. Let's get to it.
The Statesville Police Department is investigating a robbery that took place at K Jewelers at 187 Turnersburg Highway. The incident occurred Friday at approximately 12:25 p.m. According to a news release from the Statesville Police Department, officers arrived at the scene to find a suspect armed with a hammer, had threatened store employees and smashed display cases to steal various pieces of jewelry. The suspect then fled the scene in a white BMW, which had a dark cover over the license plate. No injuries were reported during the incident. In response, officers began searching the area while criminal investigators processed the crime scene. A short time later, the suspect's vehicle was found abandoned at the dead end of Pump Station Road, not far from the robbery site. The Iredell County Sheriff's Office provided additional support by setting up a perimeter and deploying a K-9 unit. Despite a thorough search, including a K-9 track and aerial surveillance using a drone, the suspect was not found. The suspect is described as a white male with long dark hair. He was last seen wearing blue jeans, black sneakers, dark gloves, a gray shirt with a short sleeve black shirt over it, and a black covering over part of his face. He was carrying a black and red duffel bag. This case remains under investigation. If you have any information that could assist this case, please call the Statesville Police Department. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
A woman faces multiple drug charges following an arrest last week by authorities here in Catawba County. As of the time I'm filing this report, she remained here at the Catawba County Detention Facility in Newton. The suspect has court dates scheduled for later this month and in early September. 25-year-old Bridget Marie Johnson of Hickory was arrested by Catawba County Sheriff's officers. She's charged with 2 felony counts of trafficking opium or heroin, along with single felony counts of conspire to traffic opium or heroin, possession of methamphetamine, and possession of Schedule II controlled substance. She's also charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of possession of drug paraphernalia, along with single misdemeanor counts of fictitious information to an officer and carrying a concealed weapon. Johnson was arrested last Wednesday and jailed in the Catawba County Detention Facility under $50,000 bond. District court dates are scheduled for August 26th and September 4th. 39-year-old Anthony Lee Klein of 17th Street Southeast in Hickory was arrested Friday by probation and parole officers. He's charged with felony probation violation. Klein is on probation as a result of a conviction in Caldwell County in November of 2021 for larceny of firearms. Following the arrest, Klein was jailed in the Catawba County Detention Facility under $15,000 bond. A Superior Court appearance is scheduled for October 24th. The next case involves 2 Newton women who are charged with child abuse. 54-year-old Sherry Jean Edwards and 25-year-old Emily Marie Edwards, both of the same West C Street Newton address, were arrested Friday by Newton police. They're each charged with 2 felony counts of negligent child abuse with serious bodily injury. Both suspects were jailed in the Catawba County Detention Facility under $25,000 bond apiece as they awaited a Monday Superior Court date. 38-year-old Katie Nicole Estep of West 15th Street in Newton was arrested Friday on a charge filed in Catawba County. She's charged with felony possession of methamphetamine. Following the arrest, Estep was incarcerated in the Catawba County Detention Facility here in Newton under a $1,000 bond. A district court appearance is scheduled for September 5th. Reporting from the Justice Center, I'm Rob Eastwood, WHKY News.
18-year-old Okeem Lamar Hunter of Gastonia and 48-year-old Richard Atkins of Bessemer City were arrested by Mooresville police last Tuesday. Hunter was charged with misdemeanor possession of marijuana and was served with an order for arrest for felony common law robbery. Atkins was charged with felony possession of a Schedule II controlled substance and misdemeanor larceny. A third suspect was charged with a misdemeanor offense. At about 1:30 p.m. on August 13th, Mooresville police received an alert from an automatic license plate reader regarding a vehicle connected with a wanted subject with multiple out-of-state warrants. Officers found the vehicle in a parking lot on Highway 150. A passenger told officers there was marijuana in the vehicle. The driver was found in the store where the vehicle was parked. Both the passenger and driver were found to have outstanding warrants for their arrests. A search of the vehicle turned up a small quantity of fentanyl, as well as over-the-counter pharmacy items that were stolen from a pharmacy. A third person of interest was found with over-the-counter pharmacy items that were stolen from a different pharmacy. Hunter and Atkins were placed in the Iredell County Detention Center under no bond. Hunter has a district court date on September 13th, and Atkins was scheduled to appear on September 9th. The investigation is ongoing with additional charges pending. WHKY's Ariana Mack is next with one from the Lenoir Police Department and two from the Caldwell County Sheriff.
A Lenoir man was arrested for breaking and entering and larceny. 34-year-old Justin Drew Coffey of Prospect Street in Lenoir was arrested on Friday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with felony counts of breaking and entering, larceny, possession of stolen property, and 2 counts of violating a house arrest order. Coffey was jailed under a $195,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. He is scheduled to appear in district court on Monday. A man has been charged with second-degree arson. 45-year-old Keith Edward Ward of Old North Road in Lenoir was arrested on Friday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with felony second-degree arson. Ward was jailed under $100,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court date was scheduled for August 26th. No additional information was given. And a Lenoir man arrested for possession of stolen property and larceny. 41-year-old Jamie Dwight Coffey of Lenoir was arrested on Friday by Lenoir police officers. He was charged with 3 felonies: possession of stolen property, breaking and entering, and larceny. Coffey was jailed under $75,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. He was scheduled to appear in district court on Monday. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
Thank you, Ariana. With a roundup of recent arrests in Catawba County, here now is WHKY's Rob Eastwood.
A woman faces multiple drug charges following an arrest last week by authorities here in Catawba County. As of the time I'm filing this report, she remained here at the Catawba County Detention Facility in Newton. The suspect has court dates scheduled for later this month and in early September. 25-year-old Bridget Marie Johnson of Hickory was arrested by Catawba County Sheriff's officers. She's charged with 2 felony counts of trafficking opium or heroin, along with single felony counts of conspire to traffic opium or heroin, possession of methamphetamine, and possession of Schedule II controlled substance. She's also charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of possession of drug paraphernalia, along with single misdemeanor counts of fictitious information to an officer and carrying a concealed weapon. Johnson was arrested last Wednesday and jailed in the Catawba County Detention Facility under $50,000 bond. District court dates are scheduled for August 26th and September 4th. 54-year-old Sherry Jean Edwards and 25-year-old Emily Marie Edwards, both of the same West C Street, Newton address, were arrested Friday by Newton police. They're each charged with 2 felony counts of negligent child abuse with serious bodily injury. Both suspects were jailed in the Catawba County Detention Facility under $25,000 bond apiece as they awaited a Monday Superior Court date.
29-year-old Sierra Lachey Jones of Newton has been given a total active prison term of 80 to 118 months in connection with a fatal 2022 crash in Alexander County. Jones was convicted on August 12th in Alexander County Superior Court. She was sentenced to 64 to 89 months for felony death by vehicle and an additional 16 to 29 months for driving while impaired. The accident occurred just before 8 p.m. on May 22, 2022. According to the North Carolina State Highway Patrol, Jones was northbound on Highway 127 in Bethlehem near the Alexander County EMS base when she crossed the center line and struck a 2008 Toyota Prius head-on. 66-year-old James Wallace Thompson of Wilkesboro was taken to Fry Regional Medical Center in Hickory, where he passed away. 4 passengers in the Prius, including 3 children, suffered non-life-threatening injuries.
A Lenore man is arrested for trafficking in methamphetamine. 53-year-old Adrian Devon Hill of Norwood Street in Lenore was arrested on Monday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with 3 felonies: trafficking in methamphetamine, possession with intent to sell or deliver Schedule II controlled substance, and maintaining a vehicle or dwelling for controlled substance. Hill was jailed under $200,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. No court dates were listed.
The suspect in this case was arrested following a traffic stop early Sunday morning. Police reportedly found fentanyl, marijuana, and drug paraphernalia during their investigation. As of the time I'm filing this report, the suspect remains in jail in Burke County. A court date is scheduled in September. 43-year-old Lisa Marie Santana of Pine Street in Morganton was arrested Sunday by Morganton Public Safety. She's charged with felony counts of possession of Schedule II controlled substance, possession of Schedule VI controlled substance, and possession with intent to manufacture, sell, or deliver Schedule IV controlled substance. She's also charged with misdemeanor counts of possession of drug and marijuana paraphernalia and resisting a public officer. At 1 a.m. Sunday, a public safety officer conducted a traffic stop on US 70 West at Pleasant View Baptist Church. During the investigation, police reportedly found items including 0.81 grams of fentanyl, 16.06 grams of marijuana, and a digital scale. According to the North Carolina Department of Adult Correction Offender Public Information website, Santana has multiple convictions listed dating back to 2012. Most of the cases are from Burke County, with the most recent being in July of 2023. In that case, Santana was convicted of felony possession of Schedule II controlled substance. She received probation and a suspended sentence. Following Sunday's arrest, Santana was brought to the Burke County Jail under $20,000 secured bond. As of the time I'm filing this report, she remains in jail. A district court appearance is scheduled for September 9th in Morganton. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
47-year-old Nakisho Kima Thompson of North Oxford Street in Claremont was arrested Monday by Hickory police officers. She's charged with possession with intent to sell and deliver cocaine, simple possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Thompson was incarcerated in the Catawba County Detention Facility without bond. A district court appearance was scheduled Tuesday. 38-year-old Dustin Michael Duckworth of the Dearborn Street Extension in Morganton was arrested by Burke County Sheriff's officers on August 14th on felony counts of possession of a Schedule II controlled substance and possession of a stolen firearm, along with a misdemeanor count of carrying a concealed weapon. At about 6:40 p.m. on the 14th, criminal investigators, narcotics officers, and the North Carolina Department of Adult Corrections K-9 unit saw Duckworth operating a motor vehicle. They knew Duckworth was driving with a suspended license and displaying a fictitious license plate. A traffic stop was conducted. Multiple concealed firearms were found, including one weapon that had been reported as stolen to the Valdez Police Department. Duckworth was taken into custody without incident. As he was placed under arrest, a clear, crystalline substance was found on Duckworth's person. That substance tested positive for methamphetamine. Duckworth was given a $15,000 secured bond. He is not currently listed as an inmate in Burke County. A first appearance in district court was scheduled on August 15th, with another court date coming up on September 5th.
This incident occurred on Mother's Day in 2022. Hickory police responded to a residence in the city, and they found the victim with multiple injuries. She was found deceased in a bedroom of that residence. The defendant in this case could spend up to 32 years, 8 months in prison. As of the time I'm filing this report, he is being held at the Catawba County Detention Facility here in Newton. 37-year-old Eddie Dante Probst entered an Alford plea to second-degree murder during Catawba County Superior Court on Tuesday. An Alford plea is a guilty plea in which a defendant maintains their innocence but admits that the prosecution's evidence would likely result in a guilty verdict if brought to trial. Probst was charged in connection to the May 8, 2022 death of 29-year-old Laura Matthews of Hickory, which was previously reported here on WHKY. Probe was sentenced to 26 years, 4 months to 32 years, 8 months in prison. On the date of the crime, Hickory police responded to an address on 8th Avenue Southeast where the officers found Matthews deceased in a bedroom. An autopsy revealed that Matthews had a broken neck, a broken nose, a punctured lung, a pulverized liver, and a broken left jaw. In addition, every rib on her right side was broken and 5 ribs on her left side were broken. Probst was initially charged with first-degree murder, assault on a female, and assault by strangulation. As of the time I'm filing this report, Probst is being held in the Catawba County Detention Facility here in Newton. So once again, a prison sentence of 26 years, 4 months to 32 years, 8 months for Eddie Dante Probst of Hickory, charged in connection to the Mother's Day 2022 death of Laura Matthews. And reporting from the Catawba County Justice Center, this is Rob Eastwood, WHKY News.
42-year-old Robert Clark Taylor of Gemstone Drive in Statesville was arrested by Iredell County Sheriff's officers last Friday on 10 counts of felony second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. On May 31st of this year, the Sheriff's Office received a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children regarding possible child pornography in the possession of an individual in Iredell County. Interviews were conducted, search warrants were executed, and the suspect was identified as Robert Clark Taylor. As a result of evidence gathered during the investigation, Taylor was arrested and charged. At last report, Taylor remained in the Iredell County Detention Center under a $500,000 secured bond. A district court appearance was set for September 9th.
The individual charged in this case faces multiple felony counts. Police responded to his residence. They reportedly seized almost 700 grams of methamphetamine valued at more than $100,000. They also seized more than $5,000 in U.S. currency. As of the time I'm filing this report, the suspect remains in the custody of the Caldwell County Detention Center. 53-year-old Adrian Hill of Norwood Street in Lenoir was arrested Monday by Lenoir police. He's charged with felony counts of trafficking in methamphetamine by possession, possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver meth, and maintaining a dwelling for the sale of controlled substance. WHKY previously reported on Hill's arrest Tuesday. More information was later released. Investigators with multiple agencies, including Lenoir Police, the Caldwell County Sheriff's Office, the Department of Homeland Security, and the State Bureau of Investigation, began looking into the sale and distribution of methamphetamine. The target was a residence within the city limits of Lenoir. During the probe, authorities determined that Adrian Hill was a distributor of meth into local communities. Following a lengthy investigation, detectives sought and were granted a search warrant for Hill's residence. On Monday evening, the search warrant was executed. The investigation and the search of the apartment resulted in officers seizing 697.1 grams of meth and $5,297 in U.S. currency. Hill was arrested at the scene without incident. The suspected narcotics seized had a street value of $104,565, according to North Carolina drug guidelines. Following the arrest, Hill was incarcerated in the Caldwell County Detention Center under $200,000 secured bond. As of the time I'm filing this report, he remains in custody. If you have any information on this case or any other crime in Caldwell County, you can contact Lenoir Police at 828-757-2100 or Lenoir and Caldwell County Crime Stoppers at 828-758-8300. Reporting for WHKY News, this is Rob Eastwood.
Thank you, Rob. Here now is WHKY's Ariana Mack with 3 arrests from the Caldwell County Sheriff's Office.
A Lenoir man has been arrested on 6 felony counts of violating a house arrest order. 38-year-old Elliot Patrick Cox of Lenoir was arrested on Tuesday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with 6 felony counts of violating a house arrest order. Cox was jailed under $85,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. He is scheduled to appear in District Court on September 12th and Superior Court on September 30th.
30-year-old Ventrail Jamon Swain, who is listed as a homeless person from Hickory, was arrested by Hickory police early Monday morning on 3 felony counts of breaking and entering a motor vehicle, 2 felony counts of possession of a firearm by a felon, and a misdemeanor count of resisting, delaying, or obstructing a public officer. Swain was taken into custody at about 2:25 a.m. Monday near a church on 1st Street Northwest in Hickory. He was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility with bond set at $25,000 secured. Swain remained in jail as of Wednesday afternoon. An appearance in District Court was scheduled Monday with another court date coming up on September 9th in Newton.
The individuals depicted have been arrested but not convicted at the time of story postings. This information does not infer or imply guilt of any actions or activity other than their arrest. We make no warranty or guarantee as to the accuracy of this data.
You are watching the WHKY News. This is the Crime Report. I'm Ralph Mangum. 54-year-old Alan Lee Henson of Morganton was sentenced Thursday to 168 months in prison, followed by 5 years of supervised release for trafficking methamphetamine. The announcement was made by Dina J. King, U.S. Attorney for the Western District of North Carolina, who was joined by Burke County Sheriff Banks Henseman, among others. According to court documents and court proceedings, in March 2021, the Burke County Sheriff's Office initiated an investigation after learning that Henson was acquiring meth and then redistributing it in the Burke County area. During the investigation, investigators used a confidential source to purchase meth from Henson at his residence on at least 2 occasions. In April of 2021, a search warrant was executed at Henson's residence, leading to the seizure of meth, marijuana, digital scales, drug paraphernalia, and $23,733 in cash. Court records show that in February of 2022, Henson met with an undercover officer in Caldwell County, where he sold the officer more than 71 grams of meth in exchange for $1,400 in cash. In November of last year, Henson pleaded guilty to possession with intent to distribute 50 grams or more of methamphetamine. He is currently in federal custody and will be transferred to the custody of the Federal Bureau of Prisons. The investigation was conducted by the DEA and the Burke County Sheriff's Office, with assistance from the Lenoir Police Department. Assistant U.S. Attorney Christopher Hess prosecuted the case. 45-year-old Jeffrey Lynn Mays Jr. of Taylorsville was arrested by Alexander County Sheriff's officers Wednesday on charges of felony possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, possession of a Schedule IV controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Mays is being held without bond in the Alexander County Detention Center. Mays has a long list of previous charges that includes felony counts of common law robbery, accessory after the fact of common law robbery, probation violations, possession of a Schedule I controlled substance, and possession of methamphetamine, plus misdemeanor counts of possession of a Schedule IV controlled substance and driving while license revoked. Superior Court dates in Alexander County were scheduled for September 16th and October 7th, with a District Court appearance set for October 1st. In Surry County, Mays awaits trial for breaking and entering, larceny of a motor vehicle, larceny of a firearm, and injury to personal property. He'll appear in a Surry County courtroom on September 30th. WACB's Rick Gilbert contributed to that story. A suspect faces drug and gun charges following a recent arrest. WHKY's Rob Eastwood reports.
The suspect in this case was arrested following a traffic stop here in Iredell County. The suspect was reportedly driving a vehicle that contained multiple firearms. 2 of those firearms were reportedly stolen. The suspect was brought to the Iredell County Detention Center following his arrest. As of the time I'm filing this report, he is not listed as an inmate here in Iredell County. 25-year-old Abraham Roman of Charlotte was arrested last Friday by Troutman police officers. He's charged with 2 counts of possession of a stolen firearm, 3 counts of carrying a concealed weapon, and single counts of possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. At approximately 9:35 p.m. Friday, officers conducted a traffic stop of a vehicle at Perth Road and State Park Road. While speaking with the driver, Abraham Roman, officers developed probable cause to search the vehicle. During the search of the vehicle, 3 concealed pistols were found, with 2 of them being listed as stolen. In addition to the firearms, officers also found cocaine in the vehicle. Roman was placed under arrest and brought to the Iredell County Detention Center under a $30,000 bond. As of the time I'm filing this report, he is not listed as an inmate here in Iredell County. A district court date is scheduled for September 11th. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
Thank you, Rob. WHKY's Ariana Mack finishes up today with news regarding a man accused of stealing from an historic site in Iredell County.
30-year-old Michael Thomas Hadziki of Mainview Drive in Mooresville has been arrested by Iredell County Sheriff's officers and charged with 5 felony counts of theft or destruction of property of public libraries or museums and 3 misdemeanor counts of first-degree trespassing. On July 30th, Iredell County deputies responded to the Fort Dobbs Historic Site at 438 Fort Dobbs Road in Statesville to investigate a report of theft and trespassing. Staff members said that when they arrived to open the site, they found several freshly dug holes on the property. They were uncertain if anything had been taken. Security cameras captured footage of a young white male using a headlamp and a metal detector to search the area. Detectives identified the suspect as Michael Thomas Hadziki. During an interview, Hadziki confessed to trespassing on the historic site and using his metal detector to unearth several items that had been buried since the fort's establishment. He also admitted that he had been on the property in 2021 and removed artifacts at that time. Detectives recovered several historic artifacts from Hadziki. Hadziki was arrested and placed in the Iredell County Detention Center under a $5,000 secured bond. He was scheduled to appear in district court on August 22nd. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
Thank you, Ariana. That'll do it. Thank you all for joining us here on the Crime Report. Now for WHKY, I'm Ralph Mangum, reminding you to keep it clean and to keep it legal.
The suspect in this case is a Caldwell County resident who was arrested by authorities in that county on charges that were filed here in Catawba County. The suspect faces felony drug charges. Police reportedly seized fentanyl and methamphetamine during a search of a residence in Hudson. As of the time I'm filing this report, the suspect remains in jail here in Catawba County. A court date is scheduled in September. 34-year-old Marcia K. Glazebrook of Delmar Street in Hudson was arrested by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers on outstanding warrants from Catawba County. She's charged with felony counts of trafficking in methamphetamine, possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver meth, and possession of meth. Glazebrook is also charged with misdemeanor possession of drug paraphernalia. A joint narcotics operation that began in July of 2024 was conducted by the Caldwell County Sheriff's Office Narcotics Unit, Lenore Police Department Narcotics Unit, and Hudson Police Department. In the morning hours on Wednesday, a search warrant was executed at Glazebrook's residence in Hudson. The search resulted in the seizure of approximately 30 grams of fentanyl and 15 grams of meth. The drugs seized during the investigation have a total street value of just under $22,000, according to North Carolina state guidelines. Following the arrest, Glazebrook was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility here in Newton under $186,000 bond. As of the time I'm filing this report, she remains in jail. A Superior Court appearance is scheduled for September 5th in Newton. Reporting for WHKY News, this is Rob Eastwood.
A federal grand jury in Charlotte has returned a criminal indictment charging 40-year-old Clint Clifford Sicking of Munster, Texas, for his role in a $780,000 scheme involving the theft of livestock. The announcement was made by Dina J. King, U.S. Attorney for the Western District of North Carolina. Sheriff Darren Campbell of the Iredell County Sheriff's Office was among these, joining U.S. Attorney King in making Wednesday's announcement. According to allegations in the indictment and documents in related court proceedings from April 2018 to October 2022, Sicking conspired with 25-year-old William Dalton Edwards of Mount Airy, North Carolina, to defraud livestock markets, also known as sales barns, in Iredell and Cleveland counties, North Carolina, and in Texas, Oklahoma, and Virginia. The indictment alleges that on multiple occasions during the relevant time frame, Sicking and Edwards purchased cattle from sales barns in North Carolina and wrote checks to pay for the cattle, knowing the checks were worthless since there were insufficient funds to cover the checks and pay for the cattle. As alleged in the indictment, Sicking and Edwards arranged to transport the cattle out of state before defrauding sales barns and financial institutions could determine their checks were worthless. The stolen cattle were then resold in Texas and Oklahoma. Over the course of the scheme, Sicking and Edwards allegedly fraudulently obtained more than 900 head of cattle and caused over $780,000 in losses to sales barns in North Carolina. On August 2, 2024, Edwards pleaded guilty for his participation in the scheme. A sentencing date for Edwards has not been set. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
On August 22nd, 64-year-old Patrick Jr. Ravens of Lincoln County was sentenced by a Lincoln County jury to 31 to 107 months for felony secret peeping and second and third degree sexual exploitation of a minor. He must also register as a sex offender for 30 years. Ravens is the owner of 321 Lawnmower Sales and Services in Maiden. According to evidence from the trial, Ravens repeatedly placed hidden spy cameras in a bathroom in a residence in order to capture revealing images of a 13-year-old female relative in his care. He made multiple copies of the footage for his own use. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office investigated the case, which was reported in March 2023. The District Attorney's Office of Lincoln and Cleveland counties handled the prosecution. 26-year-old Amber Marie McCoy of River Hill Road in Statesville and 43-year-old Anthony Mac Dorland of 4th Street Southwest in Hickory have both been arrested by Iredell County Sheriff's officers. McCoy was charged with felony possession of a stolen motor vehicle. In addition, both suspects were served with outstanding felony warrants. Just after midnight on August 17th, a deputy responded to a tip that came in via the Iredell Sheriff's app regarding a stolen vehicle at the Motel 7 on Greenland Drive in Statesville. Upon arrival, the deputy located the blue Dodge Challenger in the parking lot and confirmed that it had been reported stolen out of Indiana. During the investigation, deputies reviewed surveillance footage that showed a white female exiting the stolen Dodge with a white male passenger. They were identified as Amber McCoy and Anthony Dorland. The pair were seen entering a room in the motel at about 10:55 p.m. on August 16th. Deputies confirmed that both subjects had outstanding Catawba County warrants for their arrest. Deputies approached the room and knocked on the door, which was answered by McCoy about 2 minutes later. She was placed under arrest. Dorland was found hiding under a bed and was also taken into custody. McCoy and Dorland were jailed in the Iredell County Detention Center. McCoy was held without bond on the stolen vehicle charge and was given a $2,000 secured bond on the Catawba County warrant for felony possession of methamphetamine. Dorland was given a $10,000 secured bond for a felony probation violation in Catawba County. McCoy will appear in Iredell County District Court on September 4th with a court date on September 18th in Newton. Dorland will appear in Superior Court in Newton on October 24th. Those were just a few of the crime stories we had for you during the week of August 19th through August 23rd. You can find our weekly recap each Saturday at WHKY.com and on our YouTube channel, right along with our top stories, the crime report, local sports, and community focus. I'm Ralph Mangum. Thank you for watching the WHKY News.